Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Julie at Cameliacraftsdesigns. I thought today I'd come along and make some little clusters with you. As you know, I've been making an Edith Holden themed journal. We did the bare bones of the journal, and now I'm going to be making some things that I'm going to use to decorate it with. So as I were making some of these anyway for my Etsy shop, I thought I would make some that would match that Edith Holden journal. Right. These are the clusters. These are the ones I make in my Etsy shop. The neutral ones. Yeah. As you can see, they're made from pieces of muslin or calico, whichever you call it. Various types of lace and hessian. Little bits of eyelash trim. Whatever gets thrown in my offcuts box, to be honest. So they're the ones I make for my shop. I'll pop those out of the way. And these are a few that I've made using the same fabric that we made the Edith Holden, yeah, that was a bit posh, Edith Holden journal from. I've cut some of it up into strips so that I can make tiny pieces for these clusters. I have also got there's muslin. There's all sorts in this little box of goodies. But I have got some fabric that came from an Edith Holden quilt cover. It was an official design taken from the book. Now, to be quite honest, I think the fabric we use for that journal cover fits in a lot nicer with the Edith Holden colour scheme. But they're both lovely, so I have made some with each. So these are just some of the things we're going to be using. Pop the ones I've made out of the way and show you what I've got in my little box of goodies. I've got this, which was, it was actually a pair of shorts. There was like I got it from a charity shop. There was like an inner, yeah, well, you'll be alright wearing those as shorts when you're completely see-through. Yeah, they had like a lining which I've took out, and I've just took this lacy part off. So I might use bits of that. That's taking up most of my box, to be honest. And now it's all tangled up with eyelash trim. So then we come to eyelash trim. I don't think I'll use those colours today, but I've got some in a sparkly plummy colour. I've got some cream with a tiny sparkle to it, and some pink, no sparkle to the pink. I've got some little, these are lace butterflies. I don't know whether I'll make one today, but they're in this box waiting for me to use them. I've not actually used one on anything yet. They're quite pretty, but they're a bit floppy, so you couldn't just really stick one on a journal page. It needs to be incorporated in some other kind of decoration. So we've got those. I've got some of this. You know, I bought it and I forgot what it's called. Some kind of spider web ribbon. I saw Tanya at Tatty Treasure use this. She's got a big roll full. I just thought I'd buy a little bit of it to see. And if you look at these, I have put some on that cluster. Under that ribbon, we've got a piece of it there. I quite like it. It'll come in useful for all sorts. I've got some of the wooden buttons that's a handmade with love, the small size. I've also got a larger size. That's the size I use on my clusters on Etsy. I think they're a 1.5 centimetre button, and these smaller ones are a 1 centimetre button. Not sure what that is in inches. I've got all my mats turned around to the centimetre side at the moment. I've also got a bag of just random buttons. You know, when you've made a project and they're hanging about on your desk, we've got those. And yeah, that's about it. Just oddments of lace. Whenever I'm coming to the end of a roll of lace, I'll just throw it in this tub. My next step will then be to cut it up into pieces and transfer it into this big box. I probably can't get that whole box in shot, but you get the idea. Oh, you don't need to see that. Yeah, I've got bits of net curtain, different bits of hessian cut into random squares, little bits of lace, pieces of doily, some cheesecloth, even some sheer pieces of ribbon, some silk fabric. That was some really sheer white lace. I couldn't really glue it to anything because there was no way to fix it without you being able to see the glue through. Yeah, and just odds and bits and bobs. Some wider pieces of lace. That was a dress. I don't know if it was a bridesmaid. It looked like a bridesmaid's dress. I've been cutting it up for about 2 years. Anyway, we'll pop that to one side. So you might see me reaching to get bits out of there from time to time. And we'll get on with starting this project. Now the first thing we're going to use are these pieces of ribbon. I've already cut them into strips. It's about 1.5 centimetre, that strip. Let's unwind some. And then to make your squares, I don't make perfect squares. I just put a little snip. It's about what maybe a square. If you also look at these, that one wasn't nowhere near a square, but I quite like it. And then I rip it. Ripping it is what gives you these jaggedy edges. I love them. Did I cut that one yet? So ripping, another snip. I'll try not to cut myself. I know I put myself with needle last time. So I think that should be enough for now. And I mixed the coloured fabrics, patterned fabrics with some plain muslin. So I'll just grab some of those out of my box of ready-made squares and we'll start layering some together. Yeah, it's not exact. The more random the better. In fact, if I have a big batch of these to make, I quite often get my daughter to help me, one of my daughters, because she's more able to do it random than I am. If you make it too perfect, it looks contrived, it doesn't look natural. That's a big piece, but so is that. So that could be, can you see that's 2 is it hexagon? You get 8 points, yeah. No, it's octagon. Hexagon's the 6, isn't it? So we'll just move that a little bit. There's not much pattern on that one. So we've got, what, 4 going off there now. Try one more. I'm not going to sew all these. I'm just going to show you how I put them together. Right, move some bits that we don't need here anymore. I'm going to try and keep tidy while I do this. I don't normally work on a tidy desk. I just like the mess. And I tidy up when I've done. Right, next I'm going to bring in some random pieces of lace and... excuse me, I've got a real frog in my throat. I'll just have a drink of my tea. Oh, that's a bit better. Right, well, we've got these 2 pieces. These were ends of rolls. I get a lot of my lace from eBay, other Etsy sellers, AliExpress sometimes, but I'm normally too impatient to wait for things to come from there. And Amazon. I love Amazon. So again, I'm just going to hold it up like that and cut it like that. That's how I tend to get it more random. There we go. Now let's see if I want any on here. Yep. That flower's pretty nice though, but when we put a button on it, we'll cover it up anyway. Pop one there, one there. Excuse me, I'm off again. Pop that in the box for next time. Let's see what else we've got in there, in here. We've got some of that Spiderweb ribbon. I'm sure that's what it's called. I'll try and link it below. I'm very new at finding these links and putting them in. And I've had a few friends point out a couple of links haven't worked. Hopefully I've put them right. Or I may have forgot to put some in. I think that's a bit small. Right. Oh, I've got... these are new ribbons I bought from Amazon. They were listed as white, and a lot of people were complaining that these ribbons were not white. They were more ivory. Now, I'd been looking for ivory ribbon and couldn't find any. So I thought, I'll order them. If they're white, I'll just tea stain them. But they came in this most gorgeous ivory colour. I really love them. Whoops, no, don't get the fingers. You can see how I end up cutting my fingers, can't you? Oh yeah, I think a piece of that on there. And then still see some of the... Yep, pattern through. I think I'll grab a bigger piece of... That's way too big, isn't it? way too big. I've got lots in this box that you can't see. Ooh, a bit of two coloured lace. Oh, I think I'll put that there. Yeah, I like that one. Let's bring some little random pile in. Oh, I like that one. That can go there. A little semicircle piece. Pop that on that one. As you can see, they're not neat or tidy at all. I tend to usually put 2 to 3 layers on, depending on how thick the laces are that I've chosen. I think I'll put another piece on top of that one. I like it when you can see another lace through a more sheer piece of lace. Oh, what about my pieces of net curtain? Oh yes, I think one of these is asking for a piece of net curtain. I'm going to take that off there, put that on. Again, we can see that colour through, and then pop that on. There we go. Now I have to decide what I'm just one more. I can't resist, just keep altering them. Oops, there we go. That's quite a big squarish looking one, isn't it? Do you know, I'm going to alter that. It's too big, way too big. Let's get a slightly smaller one. Slightly smaller, there we go. It looks a little bit less square now, doesn't it? Now we choose the buttons. The obvious choice, oh look at that, a button that's been made back to front. Do you know what? I like it. I'll put it on one of these unique ones. Grab one of these other bags of buttons. These are my random buttons from everywhere. Oh, another bag of buttons I've got here. These could be vintage, might not be vintage. What one of my friends gave me is this, a bag of buttons she has been saving basically all her life, and she's a couple of years older than me and I'm in my 50s. So, oh, we've even got a key. I wonder what that opens. So I've just fished a few of these out. You can tell some of them are old, some of them look much newer. There's quite a few little shell buttons in. On mother of pearl, really nice. A lot of them as well have got the fabric still in as they've been cut from clothes, so that should be handy for decorating things. Anyway, if I get too many out, I'm spoilt for choice, so I'll just tip this little bag out onto my desk. There we go, one ran away. Let's see what we've got. What's on there? Oh, I like that one. Do you know, I think I like the underneath as much as the top. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know, perhaps that would go better on a more neutral one. I think I might like that on there. This is a fabric covered button. It looks like linen with little metal eyelets in the middle. I think that might look lovely. That one's got cotton in. What else? Let's have a look in this other bag. Some in this other bag have got patterns on. Oh, that's just a plain wooden button. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. Yeah. I don't think we want a stripy button. But we have got a couple. Let's just tip these out into my hand. Oh, look at that heart-shaped one with a flower. I don't know. It might be a little bit dark, that. Oh, go for it. Just chuck them on the desk, Julie. There you go, buttons. We've got those in frame. Yeah, most of them. Oh, a yellow one. I like that yellow. But not for that. I did see some with flowers on and now I can't find them. It's like they're hiding from me. Well, they're saying, no, you didn't see it. Oh, look, there we go. I like that one. Yes, I'm happy with that. That one's got buried under other buttons. Don't know what that is. Oh, we've got one there with a bit of metal inside. Has it got yet? No, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I like those. Right, I'm just going to sew a couple of these to show you how I sew it. I'll bring in my magic sewing block. It's not magic. It really is, just because I'm so bad at stabbing my fingers, cutting my fingers. I'm clumsy, basically. So I use this when I'm sewing. Where's the cotton? I can't see for toffee, so I have to use a needle threader as well, which is there. Needle threader. So I'll just get a length of cotton off. I'm going to sew it with double cotton. There's lots of different ways to make these clusters. I've seen quite a few people make them. I can't remember who I first saw make them, to be honest. I've watched quite a lot of tutorials. And you watch different people, use different methods, and you find your own that suits you. Right, here's my needle threader. I love this one. So I've made a loop in my cotton, pop it over that hole. I've broke loads of needle threaders, and these I've not managed to break one yet. Plus I got a batch of them off eBay, a batch of 10. Put your needle in there and it pokes up this little hook. I'm showing you this, you're all probably saying, yeah, I've seen one of those. I'd not, I just think it's amazing. Pull your needle around there, let go of that button, and out comes your needle with cotton threaded through. When you've got it as you want it, press the button again and let go. To me, that's magic. You know, when you've struggled to thread needles for so long, even I could see I was not very good at threading needles. Right, let's do this one first. This is quite pretty, this one. Right, my first hole, I'm going to come in from the back. Right, then when I've done that, I need to go back through. But just so that, let's put this where you can see it. So I can make sure my button's placed exactly where I want it. That's what I use this bit of foam for. So I pop my needle through. Right, then you can see the back as I pull. I hope you can anyway. I'm not quite sure how close I am. Your looped piece of thread will be coming up towards the back, and as it gets there, put your cotton needle through. I didn't used to do this for years. Well, I'm saying for years. Then when I learned how to do cross stitch, I think I was in my late 20s, someone showed me how to thread needle like that, and I just thought it was fabulous. Oh, what have I done there? Oh, I thought I'd caught the lace, but I haven't. So pop that back through. Yeah, I can't use a thimble, so this is sort of like a bit of a compromise for me. You can see where the hole is, where the last thread came out. It also helps me keep it a little bit neater on back. I mean, I sell these. People might not want to glue them onto pages. You could turn them into altered paper clips. You could put them on top of a bookmark. You could even make it into a little dangle, in which case you'd see the back as well as the front, so you would want it to look nice and neat. Now, when I've gone through about 3, 4, 5 times, depending on how I feel, I will then put my cotton into the fabric, fold the fabric back, exposing the back of the button, and just, oh, I've got, do you know, because this is a fabric button, it's gone into a button. We don't want that. That's it. So you're coming up underneath the centre of the button. Then I just wrap my cotton round 3 or 4 times. I'll grab my tiny little scissors, take the cover off. Just snip that off, grab my art glitter glue, and put a tiny dab of glue on the back of the button, covering the end of that thread. Then turn your fabric back, press down, and there you have it. A nice little cluster. Oh, I quite like that one. Just even getting that little bit of cotton in the centre when you've sewn it on makes all the difference. Right, let's grab one of these I've squashed. But not that one. I'm going to do this one, which is much plainer, and then I can show you how I do the eyelash trim. Again, you might have seen it. When I thought of starting this channel, I thought, well, but most people do everything. Everything I think of doing, I see someone else has done. But then I think about what I watch. I like to watch 20 different people do the same thing, just to see how different they do it. So, there you go. I'm now 1 at 20. If I don't talk your ear off. So I get my loop of cotton again, snip, find my needle threader, my amazing needle threader. Like I said, I can't get over this, and I've had it months now. So place, can you see this? Place the loop over that hole. Then I hold the cotton there, so the loop is still around the hole. Put my needle in there. And I've no idea how that piece, it's just a little wire with a hook on. How does that go through your needle's eye? I have no idea. Pull that taut and then the little hook takes it through. How does that work? If anyone knows how it works, answers on a postcard, please. Oh, actually, you can just put them in the description below. Yeah, they say tiny things, please tiny minds, don't they? Hey ho, must have a tiny mind. Right. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Then we can see both fabric, both laces. Then I'll place my button and make sure that the cotton is still going to go through both pieces. So, oh no, we go out from the bottom. This is the first one where I hope I don't stab myself. Make sure it's how we want it. Back in. Through the top. Find that loop. Catch it with the needle. Pull it taut. Yep, quite happy with the placement of that button. So I'm going to go back in. So I've gone through once, twice. Ooh. You can make these with anything, you know. 3. I've got this obsession with counting. If I don't count out loud, I lose track. I'm not a good multitasker. So I've gone through 4 times, then we're going to go back. You'll see how much easier this is when you don't have a fabric button. There you go. Wrap it around 3 or 4 times. Just pull it a little bit taut. Not so taut that you might snap your cotton, although you'll have a job on snapping this cotton. I love this cotton, it's what I sew everything with. It's a polyester one by Coats Moon. Now when I was young and I used to sew, that were just called Coats, there were no Moon involved. I'm assuming it's 2 companies who've amalgamated. Right, art glitter glue again. Just make sure you catch that. I put quite a bit of glue on there, but I'll show you what else I do with these. We saw this one were looking pretty plain, so I'll just show it, yeah? So keep that bent back. You see I've still got the glue there. I've got a length of this cream sparkly eyelash trim. I've got the end. Pop that there into the glue. And then I need my pokey tool, which should be in here. So I do normally keep everything all together. Here it is. And press that end into the glue. There we go. Then I fold the fabric back over to hold it. So it looks like that. We've got the glue holding the end of the eyelash trim between the button and the fabric. So hold that there so it doesn't want to come out. Then I just gently, can you see I'm winding the eyelash trim underneath the button and all the fluffy bits are sticking out. Then when I'm happy with how much I've got, bend the fabric back, grab your little scissors again, snip it off. So you're holding this all with your left hand and your right hand's doing everything. Put a little bit more glue on. You quite often get fluffy bits all over end of your glue doing this, but hey ho. Pokey tool again. I might have put a bit much glue on here. I normally just put a tiny dab on. It's all this talking, but you can take it off. Let me get a baby wipe. Well, a used dry one. Wipe that bit of glue off. Yeah, that's fine. So then, when it's all tucked in, put your button back, pop it down, and can you see now we've got all these little fluffy bits of eyelash trim. I think that just finishes it off lovely. Yeah, I really like that one. So that's 2 we've made. Now I'm not going to sew these other 3 up, because you've seen me sew 2, one with and without eyelash trim. I'm going to bob these over there and I'll finish those when I finish this video. And we're going to make a few with that other fabric, We've used the Edith Holden quilt cover. It was a brand new quilt cover, this, by the way. I'm really lucky. I dropped on it on eBay. It was brand new, unopened in packet. And the lady had it stashed away since the 80s. So it is vintage. We're going to use a piece of this now. I'm not tidying up. This is how I work. I'm not going to be artificial on camera. Little snip. You can snip with little scissors, big scissors, whatever. I find those little scissors really can snip your skin. So I'm quite happy to use my big ones. You tend to feel it before it cuts into you. Can you tell I've cut myself a lot? I'm terrible. So how many of those we've got now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do one more. There we go. I like to save all those threads, because another thing you can do with these clusters, and I do it sometimes with my neutral ones I sell on Etsy, put a little bundle of clusters on that button. It looks lovely. So here we have these. Let's get a few of these neutral ones in now, made from the calico. In fact, they're a bit big. Tell you what, let's get a new piece of calico. Here's a piece. No, that's 2. Oh, this one looks good. Like I said, when I've got... You saw me make that journal. I make quite a few plain fronts and then put decorative panels on. Or even when it's a fabric journal with a pattern, I tend to line it with this. That one will be good. That should make me 4. Snip. Rip. I quite like the sound of that. You know, if you had a bad day as well, and you just really, rip some of that up into squares. It's brilliant. I'll get a quilt cover and rip it up into strips. What we've got there, is that 3? Let's have a couple more. Get loads of these threads. I have seen people make their own faux handmade paper putting these threads, and I've not tried that yet. Although I've got enough threads to perhaps make enough paper to write a book. Right, happy with that. Move back onto the purple mat. It shows up a little better. I don't make these too neat. You can have a few threads hanging off if you want. 1, 2. So that's our 5. Let's get our... I'm going to rip a few more threads off the edges of this. Because this is quite a thick, it's upholstery and curtain fabric. It doesn't fray as easy. Good news if you're making curtains with it. I've now decided I want some of those bigger ones back over. Could I be more awkward? That's better for that. Oh, that's got quite a lot of fabric. I like that. I think that'll be good with some pink eyelash trim. Some of these others are more green, aren't they? You get more of a botanical feel. I've just discovered I can't say the word botanical. That's quite a little bit bigger than others, but that's not a problem. Yeah. I decided these are all too big. I ripped up some new squares, and now you can see me fiddling off to the side of me, looking for big squares again. Do you know, I think the problem is these. They're a little bit bigger than I would like. So I'm going to snip that one down a bit. There we go. I like that better. But rather than snip those down, let's go back to roll. I'm going to snip some off that aren't quite square. Yeah, that'll make them smaller. They don't have to be dead square. They're random. I think mine may be less random than other people's. There's got to be some semblance of order to it. The randomness has to be, yeah, organised. Organised randomness, if that's the thing. That one's good, that's good. We'll keep one huge giant one. Like that. And then we've got our pink one. Yeah. So bob these all off to one side, we're not using those. And let's decide what to put on these. Oh, I think I'm going to go for something quite sheer because I want that fabric to really show through. It's lovely. So I've got pulled out a few pieces of net curtain and a few pieces of this bridesmaid's dress, and I do have some pieces of organza. If you can see that on camera, you're good. And organza, yeah, it's going to be like Emperor's clothes. Yes, the organza is there. The organza is beautiful. Do you all agree? Oh yes, of course we do. We can see how beautiful it is, and really you can't see a thing. And I think I've got some sheer ribbon. Oh yeah, a couple of pieces of sheer ribbon. Right, let's see. I tend to like the bigger ones at the bottom because then it's sort of a layering effect. I like that one there. I think that's covering up a little bit. I don't know. No, it's not covering up too much. It is a cluster. We've got to cover it up at some point. But then I think, shall we put a piece of organza on that next? Yeah. That's beautiful, that organza. Can you all see it? Of course you can. Fabulous organza. A couple of pieces of bridesmaid dress. There's two ways you can have this. It's a bit of a shine and sparkle that way, or it's rather matte if you put it the other way. Can't decide. I think these call more for matte. I like that matte. Oh, do you know I've not used any of this yet? The yeah, spiderweb stuff. I used some on one of the ones I didn't sew, so I'm going to use some of that on that smaller cluster, along with some random lace. Get the random lace out from under there. Put the random lace first, then the spiderweb trim. Yep, liking that. Another piece of random lace on there. What else do we want? What else have we got in our box of tricks? We have some hessian. Ooh, some burlap ribbon. Two different colours of hessian. I call it hessian. I don't know if it's both actually, is it? I think that's more like sacking material. That's more like what you would call hessian. I think I might want that there. Let's have a bit of hessian on there. Oh yeah, I like that. I might put that under the curtain material. Yeah, you can just see it all poking through. That needs something. What shall we put on? This is why it can take me so long to do something. I like to woman R and like, oh yeah, which bit shall we put on? It's a big decision. Oh, look at that. That's a nice scrap. Oh yes, I think that's lovely. So that's got 3 on now. 2, that's still only got 1 on. Let's grab some more of this random lace. I think a couple of pieces of random lace for that one. And some eyelash trim, that'll be done. So we're happy with that. That looks a bit, I don't know, perhaps we needed a bit of more of a big square piece of lace on underneath. And I think we needed a bit more of a big piece of this spider web. So this is the piece that I bought. Let's take the packaging off completely. Grab my big scissors. And I'm just going to randomly cut. I did try to punch this, didn't work, jammed up my punch. I reckon you could die cut it. I'm just gonna try pulling it. It does go a bit more random, but you still get the squarey squares. Let's snip into corners so it's not quite so harsh. Oh, I like that. Well, now which way will it go in? That one. Oh yeah, that's better. And a squarey piece of lace. That makes all the difference. I know you can hardly see it, but it does. Right, let's sew a couple of these ones. So what buttons are we going to use on these? I think that needs a neutral button. So we've got the pink. I'm going to put some pink eyelash trim on. I did have one pink button, but I used it on that one of the first batch. I wasn't even sure that I liked it until after I put some eyelash trim on. But it turned out looking pretty cute. Let's bring it in to show you. Come here, little cluster. That one. I quite like that one I'd done. Yeah, that came out at Vintage Pile. It reminds me of kind of buttons you get, or you used to get on babies' knitted clothes. Do you want that? I think I want that on the pink one. Yeah, I like that. That's going on there. Oh, what about that one with metal on? Yep, that's sorted. Maybe I decided to put that one other than it fell off. I'm getting a bit of deja vu. Maybe that one that's bigger. Oh, I like that on there. I think I might move that to that little one. Yeah. Got some. Oh, look at that. Oh, let me try that on there. Yeah, that's it. That's that one done. That. Isn't it great how you taught yourself in and out of things? Oh, and I like that one. Yep, sorted. So I'll show you how to sew a couple more of these. And then I think we'll call it a day. Are these kind of embellishments? I would use them. In fact, I've used them on the front of journals. You know, when you get a decorated panel, you just want a little bit of something to set it off. I've used them on tags. I've used them on pockets in journals. Anywhere. I think you just have to be careful how thick your button is, depending on where you're going to place it in your journal. Some of these we've used are quite deep, and then some of them are quite, yeah, low profile buttons, so they'll be fine. Here we go. The amazing needle threader. Oh, it missed. Oh, I'm point at needling. That's why it won't work. Am I really that bad? Here we go. I've not had any disasters yet. Oh, if you watch my last one when I'm messing about with those pins, binding my book, after I realised I didn't use pins when I was binding them without a cradle. I used to use paper clips. And, oh dear. I started using pins when I got the binding cradle, so that, well, the pins were just pointing down, weren't they? They didn't keep falling out like they did for me the other day. We got there in the end though, didn't we? It were a laugh. I only stabbed myself once. Well, I can't find this. I can't get this through. There's 4 to go at. Come on, needle. You do want to come up through one of these holes. How on earth is that not coming through? What's occurring? That's it, found one. I'm beginning to think my needle had stopped working. So back on my little, yeah, I like that. I will go through all 4 holes because this button's a 4-hole button.
Sorry, I don't know that.
I like, oh no, don't say the name, don't say the name. That were just ALEX A chiming in that. She made me jump, I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, she doesn't know that. Well, we didn't ask her, did we? So the fact that she didn't know that is no skin off our nose. Whew. Do you know, that thing scares me to death some days, chiming in. It's like a child interrupting, isn't it? Mummy, mummy, mummy. I know that, I know that. Oh. Right. Oh, I've quite lost thread there. My heart's still pounding a little bit there. I thought we'd got a burglar. A burglar trying to help me sew. Yeah. So, back on track now, up through that hole. Yeah. Not many things shut me up, but that managed it, didn't it? Do you know this one is... Oh, did you hear that? That's the piece of... It's packaging. If I remember rightly, it's a piece of packaging from our TV. Right, that's through enough. So into the back of the fabric. When you feel it hit the button you want to do this time, fold your fabric back. These are, again, I've said this is just the way I like to do them. Wrapping around, pull it a little taut, snippety snip. Grab the art glitter glue, which hasn't had its pin put back in, so as it dried up. Oh, come on, art glitter glue. You know you want to. Oh, that's when you get too much. I'm just going to grab my baby wipe again. Where's my baby wipe gone? There we go. Put it off to its side. I'm just going to dab a little bit of that up. There we go. Put in the bin. And there we go. Right, that one definitely needs some eyelash trim, I think. So now we've just got to decide what colour. So we can see green. We can see bits of pink. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want pink. I'm going to stay neutral. I think unless, pardon me, you've got the exact right colour. You can pick the colour out of the fabric with the same colour of eyelash trim. I think it's better to use neutral. Right, let's put another blob of glue on to start our eyelash trim off. Pop the end in. Grab our pokey tool. Oh, I think this one's wanting to enter Olympics. Yeah. I don't know what move that would be in diving. Triple spin, yeah. Another snip. You know, I watched Angela Kerr the other week, and she mentioned, I'm saying the other week, no actually, it was back in April, and she mentioned that she'd had some art glitter glue and it were really runny. Now this bottle I'm using at the moment, I bought it in April and it is much runnier than it usually is, which is good for some things, not so good for others. I might have to get my old sticky bottle back out for these, but we did it. Oh, I like that. I just think that eyelash trim really sets some of them off lovely. So we've got 4. Have we finished? I think we finished another one. Oh, it's somewhere. Let's just sew this one big one because I really want to know what this looks like when it's done with this huge chompy button. Oh, I do like that. Yeah, one more. Just one more. Like a kid on play park. Just one more time, maybe before we go home. And you're wanting to go home to make tea. Right. Speaking of kids, I'm just hear my neighbour's kids out in the garden. They're not noisy kids. It's that our gardens, it were semi-detached houses, and they're not the widest of houses. In fact, they're not the biggest of houses. I refer to my just under 6 foot by 6 foot craft room yet again. And their gardens, they're basically only about 10 feet away from me where I'm filming this video. I have closed the window, but you can hear them a little bit. But they're not half as noisy as my kids were when they were little. Ooh. And I know young girl next door, she worries that they're loud. I just tell her, don't worry. Don't worry. Living can be loud, can't it? Nobody wants to live next to someone who is always moaning that you're being noisy. Yeah, life can be noisy. Living is loud. I think that's... Oh, I ought to put that in a journal, didn't I? Living life loud. Ooh. I've nearly lost my thread. Oh, just got it back. The other advantage to using your needle thread is you're not licking your cotton. I bet you all do that. If I was sewing something for myself and I didn't have a needle thread, I would be licking my cotton. Oh dear, that's... I didn't make that cotton long enough, did I? Take two. What did I say? I think I said it in comments to someone. It says my channel is turning into here's how not to do it, but then here's what to do to put it right. But it's true, isn't it? When you're crafting, you're not going to do everything right first time. No one's perfect. Well, some people are, but we don't talk to them, do we? No one is perfect. Your impression of someone, you can think they're perfect, but we all have flaws. So yeah, it's what what not to do, and then if you do what you're not supposed to do, here's what to do to put it right. Yeah. But I did a spell of teaching face-to-face card making classes, and I used to say that to people. It's not about getting it right first time. Learning is a process and a journey. And I don't think crafters ever reach the end of that journey. I certainly haven't. And the fun thing, especially with junk journals, is you do it wrong. Well, it's not wrong, is it? I say that. It's never wrong, it's just different. You do it different, you've got something else altogether. It's the worst thing is when you do something other than you were intending to do, let's say, and it turns out fabulous, and then you want to do it again and you can't remember what you did. Oh, that is so frustrating. Oh yeah, I really like this. I don't think I'd have thought, oh, let's put that on there. That's me. I need something out on my desk before I know what I'm going to do with it. Then if I've got too much, I get a bit overwhelmed and I'm like, oh, I just want to try and use everything at once. It's like my craft room. I'm quite visual. If I can't see it, I'll forget I own it and I won't use it. So everything is, I've got clear drawers, all labelled up, so I know what's where. Has anyone been watching Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah? She's having her Tidy Friday videos. I absolutely love them. I absolutely love it. She is doing what I do on a monthly basis. Yeah, when I've tidied, like you can see, I've got all this rubbish on desk now. It's not rubbish, it's my craft supplies. I've got all this beauty on my desk right now. Then, I don't know what time it is, but kids might be home from school, and then I might just think, oh, I need my desk to pack some Etsy orders, or I need my desk to finish an urgent order. So I'll scoop it all into a box or a drawer to sort out later. Well, quite often with me, later is about a month later. And that's what Tanya were doing on Friday, sorting out all her things she'd stashed. She found one thing, I can't remember what it was, but she went, oh, that's embarrassing. And I laughed because I knew I'd found things like that in my stash. Right, that's that one done. Do you know, I don't know. I've not decided if I want eyelash trim on that big one. I don't think I do. I think because it's such a big chunky cluster, the eyelash trim might be a bit dwarfed. I think what could be nice, you know, that's got a bit of an upside, a bit of a right and wrong way up, that piece of lace I used. I could fit a little charm onto it with a bulb pin or a safety pin. But anyway, we're going to leave it there for today. I'll bring back in, here we go, let's tidy desk. Shh. Oh, look how tidy that is now. Beautifully tidy desk, look at that. I'll pop these clusters down so you can see them all. Everyone different, no two one the same, and I think they're lovely. They're really nice. I love making these. They're quite, yeah, relaxing. There's another one to bring back in, and I'll bring back in the neutral. No, I'll not bring back in the neutral ones. Do you know why? I can't remember where I've put them. They just got put off to one side. So they're the ones I made before the video, ones we've made today. I really like those. So that's my first embellishment video. I think we'll make some journal cards. Or no, I'm going to make my tag pockets. I make them from book pages, just a little pocket with a tag that goes in, and we can embellish one of those tag pockets with one of these little clusters. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and liked. If you're new to my channel and you like what you've just seen, please consider subscribing and giving me a like. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.